Sir, I protest. I am not a merry man.
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
You're listening to The Mean Geek, episode 170.
I guess we'll start this episode off then, huh?
Absolutely.
So, since nobody knows who we are,
That's true.
we've started doing this reintroducing thing because we assume that everyone who's been listening to us, all 6 of you, have been listening for some time. I suppose that that's not going to be true all the time, so let us say precisely what's going on. I am the Tech Jedi, Adrian Hunter. This is my ever-ebullient co-host, the Reverend Mad Duck.
Hi, Mom.
Being, your ma does not listen to the Mean Geek. She would kill you with a shovel if she heard the things you said on this show.
Dude, she hears me say the same thing in life, and you know it.
My mom would kill me with
All
a
right,
shovel. We're evil people, kids. We're podcasting on the edge of civility. Sometimes we tip over and we become utterly uncivil.
That's
but
true.
we try to keep that between ourselves.
Also true.
At any rate, we've attempted twice tonight to watch 70s Marvel movies, and boy howdy have we failed completely. We started with Reb Brown's Captain America.
That was very bad.
It was very, very bad. Where they changed the super soldier serum to flag, the full latent ability gain. Because apparently humans only handle about 30% of what they can really do.
Horrifyingly awful.
And, on all the mice they experimented on this thing on, they all burned out, even though they ran like madmen for a little while. Then they just cacked it.
Now, if humans only use 30% of their natural abilities,
Yes?
does that really necessarily carry over that mice only use?
Well,
I mean, isn't it theoretically possible that mice are pretty much performing up to full fucking potential? Showing up and eating cheese and shitting on things?
That might be why they burned out so
Yeah,
badly.
I'm just saying, like, for super genius science types, like, maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, like, premier talent mice are really not all that fucking different
Premier
from your
talent
average
mice.
mice. That's why mice very rarely go pro, there's no money in it.
So that was fucking terrible. And the fact that they turned him into a damn Marine, which, to me,
Well, on a personal note for you, that just hurt.
having been a soldier, and Marines don't like to be called soldiers, and soldiers don't like to be confused with Marines, so it's all even all around. Very egalitarian that way when we go to kill people. So yeah, the Doctor Strange now, we're totally being insulted by...
Some truly bad hair in this movie.
Well, it was the 70s, the aged Genghis, not the aged Genghis, the Ancient One looked no older than Stan Lee, really.
And looked exactly like Stan Lee.
And their idea of budget was, well, we want to save this special effect for healing himself after he gets killed. So how could we kill him without an effect?
Shove him off a wall!
Let Morgan Le Fay possess somebody and shove him over an overpass.
There's some science for
That'll
it.
work. We've got our second effect in. What is it, a half hour into the show now?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Steven still hasn't lost the ability to be a surgeon and gone looking for the reason to be a fucking Sorcerer Supreme. This is getting terrible, dude.
It is not a good film. I acknowledge that.
I can't handle it. I didn't read anything major this week, news-wise. We just did a quick review of who, what was coming out in the next couple of years movie-wise.
Pretty well known.
The only really interesting thing I did in the last week was, actually, didn't we talk about the Goodwill boxes last time?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about it this time, man.
Oh, did we do that for recording or not? You bought a ridiculous amount of Goodwill comics.
Yeah, I bought 30 books for $1.29 each. So, that was pretty good.
Primarily...
And mostly Marvels and Avengers, and there were almost no DCs whatsoever. 4 long boxes. So many bad X-Men books in there, dude. Could not believe it.
There were a few Whedon-Cassidy X-Men in there.
Yeah, that was there.
Did those tempt you at all, or were they too random?
No, I think all the ones I actually had there, I had in trade anyway. So,
Well, that was only, 2 years for graphics?
something like that. Oh boy, another special effect. Where Morgan Le Fay tortures a fucking cat for no reason. That's fucking bizarre.
She tried to use the cat to get through a doorway and found out there's a mystical barrier.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. So, trade-wise, wow. I finished the incredibly thick and staggeringly stocked with back matter Mice Templar 3.
Nice.
Holy crap. That thing, you could kill somebody with that fucking book. It is so heavy and so thick. And it's just... And it's got like 50 pages of, like, here's the universe they're in. Here's what they were talking about. Here's how we were all inspired by it. Here's another article about how awesome Mice Templar is. And it's all true. I mean, it's all deserved. And I'm never going to say Mice Templar is a bad book by any stretch. You know? I just admire the fuck out of Oeming way too much. And Glass has got a talent. And he's a decent human being to boot. So you never hear me say that. But wow. The amount of back padding there, man. They got to be Reed fucking Richards to reach all the way back there.
That's rough. I never read 2. I've only read the first graphic, which was very good. I never read anything after that.
After you move, we'll get you the other 3.
Good God.
That way, you know.
Oh, yeah, because the second one was a 2-parter, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which drove me nuts because I had no idea. Are they going to go to 2.8? What are they doing here?
Oh, I remember. Did you buy 2.2 first and really annoy yourself?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
So then I went back and read it. It's like, didn't I just read all this shit in recaps? Yeah. It was terrible. I read Loaded Bible, which was a very strange Jesus versus vampires book. Yeah. I can't remember exactly why there's an apocalypse. Maybe it's the apocalypse. I can't remember. But it's 100 or so years in the future, and they have cloned Christ to be a vampire hunter. The last human city is under a dome, and they periodically send out bounty hunters and or Christ to kill vampires.
Dear God.
And the first vampire, Lilith, was not actually human, because she was so far back. Apparently God hadn't quite worked out what Homo sapiens looked like yet, so she looks like a giant fanged Bigfoot.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of kooky. It's engaging, but it's definitely kooky.
That is a little different.
Yeah, a lot different. I find it, yeah, all of them, the only thing I got left are the 6 guns.
And the ones I gave you to read.
Well, I'm the ones I bought specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the only ones I got left. And then I'll get.
Oh, so you read the Warriors 3 then?
Oh yeah, the Baldur the Brave. I read.
Ah, okay.
So happy. You know what? You know what issue that includes? Scourge being a badass with the twin M16s at the gates of fucking hell.
Really?
Man.
It's not just a miniseries. It had issues with
It's
Thor too?
well, the story mixes together. The events in Thor cross over quite extensively with the miniseries. So to make it all make sense, they threw in 3 issues of Thor as well.
Oh, okay. Because I have Baldur the Brave 1 through 3. I do not own the 4th one.
Yeah, but actually it's just as well because 4 was just tying shit up. Not a whole lot actually happened in 4. But that was one of the greatest scenes in fucking comics.
That was legit. Scourge's Last Stand. That was a great.
Just
comic.
give me as much ammo as you can spare, and I will hold them off for you. Great stuff. haven't been able to get to any books, which is driving me nuts. Because as soon as tomorrow, the new month's comics will be here, so I got to read all of them, and make it sound like a chore. I got to read comic books.
It is very overwhelming sometimes. It makes it hard to go back and reread other comics. It makes it hard to read, And the more comics you read on a regular basis, it seems to sometimes throw off reading things without pictures and short lifespans.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like,
it becomes a problem.
It is an interesting way to live, no doubt.
I spent no time putting books away the last couple of months, so it took me 2.5 hours to stand in front of all my long boxes and say, the Caps go over here, put them in order. The Batmans go over here, put those in order. Now drop them in the boxes.
That's funny.
Well, it's a sauna or it's a fridge up in that fucking attic, so I can't.
Yeah, you got to find the sweet spot.
Yeah, you only get so many of those a year.
Now, as you're putting them away, is that when the box of shite happens the most? As you're filing them, you're like, "Fuck this! I'm just getting rid of you."
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it was a mistake buying this fucking book, chucking underneath. That was readable, but I don't think I'll ever do it again. Chuck. And that's when maybe that one will be sellable one day.
So you got to debate a little bit.
I got a shipping box just for the doubles I bought just to sell.
Oh, very nice.
So.
Brian Wood's Star Wars #1's in there, isn't it?
A couple of them, yeah. A couple of Superior Spider-Man #1s. There's going to be several Amazing Spider-Man #1s. Volume 9. There's a couple of variants in there, a couple of con exclusives in there. And that SIG box is getting more and more full all the time.
Yeah, I got to do a long box now. I had a short box, and I have a huge stack on top of it.
When I buy those boxes after you move, when I renovate my boxes, my long boxes, we'll give you the better ones.
Sweet. I appreciate it. I got to neaten my shit up. I got to go through it and really delve deeper.
I need more dividers, too.
Yeah, that seemed dumb, but it has worked out nicely for you.
Yeah, it makes it fuckload easier to find shit.
I was going through my Chaikin stuff, and it's a stack about yay big.
There's I put the removable labels on the top of the boxes. That helps, but once you get in the box, you're like, how fucking far back does Fantastic Four go? Jesus.
I have almost an entire, thanks to that burn run, I have almost an entire box of Fantastic Four. It was just like
that's good
up
shit.
Space.
That is awesome. You know what wasn't awesome?
What do you got?
Origin 2, #4.
Really? We're starting with that?
Ugh. Well, it was at the time. I felt we should probably get it over with.
Kieran Gillen has a good feel for the character. Like, I'm tired of the Wolverine Sabretooth dynamic. Like,
yeah, I'm played out with it too. It's like, so they're just kind of hanging out in New York and they're hiding from like Essex or whoever. And Clara's trying to teach him how to buy sausages because that'll socialize him.
Sin Essexter.
Sin Essexter. You really just said that?
Yeah, totally.
You're going to get punched.
SIN-ESSEX-TER.
I'm not even going to wait till the episode's over. I'm standing up.
Shoot, away with you!
That was fucking terrible, dude. What the fuck were you thinking, Sin X?
Yeah, I'm trying to create material for this damn thing. I mean, basically, Wolverine doesn't know how to be a person anymore because he murdered a girl in the last miniseries. So now he's more wolf-based, but, the bear ate his wolf family and he got turned into freak du jour. So, Sabretooth's semi-fucked up half-faced sister
is trying
/ love interest, ew.
No, I don't,
they're playing it that way.
If you want to read it that way, it can come across that way.
I think they are definitely playing it with both ends. Because they didn't even reveal the sister thing until the last issue. So you thought it was that way.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of double meaning type shit. There's plenty of ways that you could take some of the shit he said and did. But then you can also just say, oh, well, he was being protective or being just, overbearing.
Well, they definitely tried to play it down the middle. But either way, so yet again, another beautiful if damaged girl falls immediately head over heels with Wolverine and jumps into bed with him. But I've seen that once or 5,000 times. Then goons show up in the middle of post-coitus.
Like always.
And the implication is that Wolverine somehow stabs a girl again, and Sabretooth and he are off for revenge, even though Sabretooth hates him.
And even though Clarence ain't really dead.
Right, because as Sabretooth's sister, which was not revealed to Wolverine, she probably has a goddamn healing factor, too.
2. Which does make a bit of sense. I mean, Creed's got it, so why wouldn't she?
That makes no sense.
I mean, it kind of, everybody in a family gets blue eyes. Everybody in a family gets a giant nose.
I want you to look at the mutant sibling theory.
All right, there's a precedent for people not having the same shit happen to them. But that's mostly a matter of, we make them up, let's make him the brother later.
But, I mean, kids don't have the same power for the most part.
I mean, how long...
Mystique, Nightcrawler, I don't even want to talk about the... Well, you're both blue, but I change into other people, and you teleport, have a tail, and smell vaguely of ass.
Literally, is it?
Yeah. Bam.
But, I think that, what's his face? Havoc? Wasn't he introduced years and years and years later?
Yes.
And it was revealed, remind me, right off the bat that they were brothers, or...
Havoc? No, not necessarily. It's been a while, but I think that was a slower build than that. But their powers don't affect each other. They can shoot each other.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, that business, whatever the fuck it was, sells chubbies.
Sweet.
What the fuck? And I know Jeff is going to answer this facetiously, but what the hell is a chubby? Oh look, it's Septa. This is a terrible movie, folks. Listen, in Hulk 20, because I'm tired of talking about mutants and Wolverine.
Is this the end of the Hulk-drawn Zeppelin?
Huh? Hulk-drawn Zeppelin?
It's a paraphrasing of a line from The Goon Show.
The Goon Show?
Yeah, the 40s British radio teller.
How the fuck would I know about The Goon Show?
I'm not implying that. I'm just, paraphrasing it for my own amusement.
Hulk drawn. So, yeah, Goodrich wants Jessup. And the thing is, Jessup points out a flaw in the Beehive power source. Now, the Beehive...
Flaw, a giant fucking holy nightmare of science.
Yes, that's actually what it is. I mean,
you could blow up the damn world. We're AIM, son. We don't care. Does it work for now? Yes.
That's a main goal. We're going to sell that shit to the Shi'Ars. What are you talking about?
See, now, listen to me here now, Mr. Jessup. As an AIM scientist, you have to understand a couple of things. First of all, you've got maybe 25 hours before somebody shows up and punches you in the face. Maybe 25 hours. If you think that I have the time in 25 hours to build nothing but safe and dependable power sources before I start my mad sciencery, you are out of your mind.
Mad sciencery.
25 hours. Then punch, if you're lucky. All right, we had Crossbones come one time. He does not punch people. That shit does not fly. Well, several people flew, but that was not intentional.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Southern Fried Scientist. There, you look like a Southern Fried Scientist right now, man. You got the shitty haircut.
Hey, what the fuck?
It's curling around your ears in the back. You're only thinking, you know what you're missing right now? A bit of chaw and a rat tail. That's what you're fucking
I am
missing.
not missing either of those things.
Banner's team, what they want to do is find a way to save this fucking guy. And it all falls apart. The Beehive blows. Banner lies his ass off to hell. And then he recriminates, and then he gets shot.
I love this book, and it really ended up going nowhere. This was such a the whole team once the team aspect got brought in, and they really, one was a super criminal.
Yeah.
We never figured out what her actual who she was.
No, they just kind of like.
I'm sure if you would recognize the name, but they never did anything with it. The fourth guy they literally never used.
Yeah, they never touched him. They never said anything about him.
Yeah, he showed up a couple times. He had armor on in Thor world. One of them is dying, and one of them, Jessup, just falls hand over ass into other weird situations.
Yep.
That was it. Yeah, and it really took away the dynamic. The whole idea, although you had to really enjoy it at the end when Banner's like, I just really wanted my name. I want Banner not to be a horrible legacy. So I fucked a lot of shit up, and it didn't go very well. Shield made out well. Hulk, not so much.
Yeah, well.
But this does allow for a Hulk #1, and God knows that's a rare fucking thing.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, wait, no, it's
Done
not.
with that. Seriously, all fucking finito.
So you're not going to pick up the next one?
No, that Hulk losing bit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'll get the next book. We'll see.
Is it Wade again?
Is it what?
Is Wade staying
Yes.
on? Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, can't kill Hulk. He just resurrects like a giant green zombie.
Well, you know what's cool about this is normally you can't shoot Banner because
He turns so fast.
that's a defense mechanism. But because Jessup has had his creepy mutagen way with the Hulk.
Ew. Ew.
I'm not wrong. I'm just phrasing it horribly intentionally. So he doesn't turn, so we don't know. Like, who knows what happens next, which is kind of cool. Like, normally you'd be like, look, he turned into the Hulk immediately. Like, you kick him out of a plane, he lands as the Hulk because he gets really mad. And even if he's really calm, once pain starts, he turns. But in this case, it's an outside source affecting him, so who knows what's going to be next, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
So as cliffhangers go, at least that's well done.
Right. So it's okay.
But, Maria Hill really should hate Bruce Banner. Like,
She should, man. And for a while there, she was. She was like, "Listen, asshole,
you were lying to my face, and you don't even have the dignity to be a good liar."
And I don't like that because I think Hill is a character that deserves a little more respect than that.
Oh, that's
in
horseshit.
universe. No,
that's totally
Hill has never been a Fury analog here. She's in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she does what she has to do, but she's never gone to the craziness in doing it that Fury has.
Yeah, but heroes lie to Fury all the time, too. Lying to S.H.I.E.L.D. is a time-honored hero tradition. Cap has done it, and Cap doesn't lie to anybody. Friggin' Iron Man lied like a motherfucking rug.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is a time-honored tradition. Right,
Tony, you know what happened here? No, not at all, Nick. Wink, wink.
Nick, you got me. Never saw nothing. The optics on my helmet were out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, Nick Fury probably deep down hates all superheroes with a fiery passion. Like, no, Nick, I have no idea. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Look here, motherfucker. I'm not winking back. I have one fucking eye, so when I blink, it may seem like I'm down with your hero bullshit. That is not accurate.
It's just a regular blink.
That is an involuntary eyelid reaction to dust particles. I don't like you.
Terrible. Funny, and I love it, but you're a terrible human being.
Yeah, so I've been told.
So, there's all new X-Men 24. Right? And that was an enjoyable enough read. The trial's finally over. Jason, which I can't handle that.
From Spartax.
I can't
Jason
handle.
from Spartax is literally, it sounds like a Liefeld character.
It does! I wanted to call him Jason, but I had to make it sound alien-esque, so it's Jason.
But yeah, you have to like the fact that everybody knows that this guy is a fucking space weasel. Like,
yeah.
They're all walking around like, yeah, he's a total space weasel, but is he wrong? Like, we kidnapped a little girl. We murdered her family. We're putting her on trial for something that a force that might possess her did in somebody else's body, in her other body, years later. Maybe, just maybe, we're not heroic in this scenario.
Yeah, it's all true, and I think that old boy was reaching just a little bit in having the Shi'Ar do that, because there was absolutely no... What was that going to gain them?
Dude, it's 2014 and the man still wears a mohawk, okay? He does not make the best decisions.
No, but I think... I still... It still occurs to me that Bendis might have just gone, I need something for this for a little bit while I figure it out.
No, because you got to bear in mind that all this is following up the last giant Phoenix fiasco.
Yeah.
So their appearance came right after that.
But the Shi'Ars still knew that this was time-traveling Jean from 40 years hence and not previous, 40 years previous.
The thing is, the Shi'ar get this overly, like, you know how people talk about like the Skrulls being mighty warriors?
They're never...
No, and historically, the Skrulls have gotten their ass whipped like 3-year-olds on Stolen Candy Day.
By
like,
everybody.
Like, literally everybody. Yeah, like, they may be able to take, like, the tree people that Jon Stewart killed, or, the Green Lantern, not the comedian, for the record.
Right.
Maybe the Skrulls could drop Suicide Squad on a really good day. Like, in general, the Skrulls blow, but they still have this Mighty Warrior rep. Well, the Shi'ar get this fucking, logical society rep that they totally don't warrant. I mean...
True, man.
Yeah, if you go back and look at President Deathbird... and if you need to be,
Majestrix.
if you need to be told why that was a terrible plan.
Well, I mean, that was a coup, man. She murdered her sister to take over. I mean, that happens in royal families all the time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, they're this logical society of royal family. Wait, what?
No, that's the kind of shit that happens, man. Society is just like, well, they're royal. We'll let them have it. Instead of going, whoa. Whoa, stop. Kill you killed our girl. You don't have the right to take control just because you kill somebody, motherfucker.
Horribleness. But yeah, so there's supposedly this uber bright society that every time they come down to the U.S. and grab somebody to put them on trial for space crimes, goes horribly awry. Somebody gets a fastball special to the brain pan, and they got 2 bajillion Shi'ar guardsmen superheroes that get their ass whipped despite having every power ever
possible. There's some shit I've never heard as being a useful power. The fucking Praetorian Guard or whatever they're called always gets it, and they was like, "I'll make you feel melancholy, and you won't want to fight."
What? No. Like this, I basically, and what's the main guy's name? Damn, I'm drawing a blank. Gladiator, thank you. Basically, it feels like, hey, let's fuck with our Superman clone again.
Could be.
Yeah, like, hey, why don't you fly down here and do something else dumb wearing your mohawk?
It's amazing.
It's like, hey, can we have a superhero that misspells things and wears cornrow? Like, come on, fuck on.
Wow. But, I mean...
Me so mad at you!
It's making it sound like this was a terrible book, whereas I did like the details of how they accomplished things. I just didn't like that the Shi'ar thought this was a bright move to begin with.
No, I mean, the raccoon is hysterical. Bobby Drake in space is really funny.
Yes.
But we're also not reading... It's apparently a crossover with Guardians of the Galaxy, which we're not reading.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole... Scott, I'm your dad. We missed that.
Who cares?
I'm just saying. So, we don't see the full effect of all this. Angela being...
Yeah, but the main plot point of the Shi'ar being dumb enough to...
Doesn't change. Nope. Stop putting the wrong people on trial. Stop coming to Earth getting your ass whipped.
Now, eventually, they
get a haircut.
They get everybody together. They get the pirate Starjammer people, the X-Men, and the Guardians, and they all use Angela to steal a Shi'ar ship to find Jean. They end up fighting the guard, as we've noted before. And then finally, Jean shows up on the last page, so
and says she's guilty.
She admits to it.
Which just really makes no sense.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, though. Like, has there ever, in the history of recorded space, been, from a world planet perspective, a more annoying group than the Guardians, the Starjammers, and the X-Men all together in one ship? Like,
they're both the pinnacle and the worst that Homo X, whatever, sapiens superior, have to offer.
Dude, that's like from my musical perspective, if Nickelback, fucking Creed, and the Spice Girls had some sort of supergroup tour. Like, fuck off.
Wow. Okay, I think we've gone as far as we can with that one. So I had a blast reading She-Hulk 2. Jen takes the money she got from representing that woman to Tony last issue, and it seems a little small for setting up shop in Manhattan. $150,000 to get an office going and start hiring people. But maybe that's just me.
Well, she does move into Superhero Rents 101.
Yeah. I did, I've bought a pack of cigarettes on the island of Manhattan, and I'm not sure how she could get a whole fucking office for only $150,000.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they do elaborate that you have this failed mutant, like, oh, I can create drizzle. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
So I might as well go into real estate, and you're surrounded by other businesses run by people who use their wacky, less than helpful powers. So, you got to figure the rent's probably not that. If there's a good chance that you can see a guy regurgitating his paperwork, you probably don't have to pay premium rates. The other aspect of this, of course, is that really, like, if you're a She-Hulk, don't you kind of get whatever you want? You're an 8-foot-tall, ridiculously hot gray chick who can punch through my brain if you get upset. Yes, we can find a decent price for you.
That is true. But the most appealing thing to me about this issue was that apparently Patsy Walker is an old, drunken, recriminating, washed-up superhero that just wants to go out and beat shit up again. That amused me.
Yes, Patsy Walker was very funny. I liked the AIM guys debating, like, let's get out of here. No, you know what the bonus is on taking these people out? It's never going to happen.
No. That amused me, too. I like it when they get the low-down AIM guys or their Hydra guys, and they're like,
But the odd assistant with the rhesus monkey...
that threw me off. She's going to be like the radar of the Marvel Universe right there with the rhesus monkey.
I can't wait to hear what the story is behind that one.
She's either going to be Jen's lifelong friend or she's going to be some traitor. So, yeah. It's an amusing book. I like it. Miss Marvel 2. Now, you convinced me last issue to look a little bit deeper into old Kamala's life and how she's living it and
Did
whatever.
you reread the first one?
I did not, but I remembered enough, and I didn't think to reread this because you had it at the time.
So still negative in your review?
No. It's when I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at it in a slightly better light. But they still whip out a cliche at the end, man. Now, she starts manifesting her powers with her giant ass fucking fist that just looks creepily out of proportion. Because it is.
I mean, the rough assessment is that she's a shape changer who chose the Miss Marvel form,
right?
Which is bizarre.
Which is not that bad. It's a little weird, but
it kind of makes sense, really, if you're manifesting powers and you're like fantasizing about being someone that you turn into them if you're a shape changer, and then the embiggen and
embiggen was kind of dumb. I've heard people use embiggen quite frequently lately, and it's just really embiggen is what we get. Again. Enlarge, thank you. That's the word you use in this situation.
I thought embiggen was pretty damn funny under the circumstances.
I was not amused at all because I had seen it like 50 times on Twitter before I read the book, and I don't even know if the people on Twitter were triggered by the book. So all I knew is I saw it in an annoying light first.
I did find it amusing that her first superpowered mission was to pull a drunk girl that she hated out of the river, so she didn't drown.
That amused me too. She's like, oh God. Wait, I've got powers. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm in. I'm on board.
No, yeah, she's a good person. Like, I really like the family aspect of the book in the first 2 issues. Because, you know what? The parents are angry that she went out. The mother more so. But understand,
As
it's like
parents will be.
you're a 15-year-old girl that snuck out of the house to go to a party, and your friend called because he was worried because you had your first drink and then disappeared. Like, we should be mad at you.
Yeah.
This builds up to us kicking your ass, buddy. And all we're doing is telling you to go to bed and that you ain't going to the movies anytime in the immediate future.
Which should be making her wipe her brow and go, whew. But instead she says, but I can never tell them the truth of my soul that I am now a superhero. I could never tell them. Well, I mean, you really could. I mean, I think her pop would be...
I think
her pop, maybe he wouldn't be okay with it, so to speak. But he'd be like, well, this is you now, so let's deal.
Yeah, you know what, though? But again, that falls well in character. For a 15-year-old, 16-year-old girl to have this huge life-changing moment and not want to tell her parents,
Yeah.
makes sense. You
No,
know?
it follows.
Like, if I woke up and suddenly the boils on my ass could fucking shoot fire, I'm not
Ew.
telling anyone.
You better not either, because I don't want to know this shit.
Hey, I'm now ass boiled.
Don't
the
you
fireman.
wash up in that motherfucker? Get some oxy going up in there. What the fuck are you doing?
If my parents came into the room and they're like, yeah, fire boil saved the day
They
again.
got pads for that shit.
I'm still not having that conversation. I'm 40 years old. My fire boil identity
But
would be
Mom,
kept
it's
in
my
touch.
ass. It's my ass, and you're not allowed to know about it.
I feel like I've actually ruined my own argument by going too far into the ridiculous. But yeah, no, I really like the dynamic of it. I think the brother is pretty funny. Look at the boys in the mosque; they kicked their ass. You're like the pacifist one, Bob. What the hell are you doing?
Bob Ibn Labab.
So no, there are some very cool aspects to the book. I'm curious to see what happens next.
Well, we're going to have to go to Sarge's for that, because I think I skipped it.
Fair
But I'll
enough.
put it back on. I don't care.
Are you pro it?
Yeah. No, I mean, in a rare circumstance of you actually influencing me properly.
Yeah.
I did.
I've talked you into keeping things before, but usually they didn't pan out. Like
Well, I mean,
Justice
you
League.
you also didn't make as good a case on those. You were just like, it'll get okay, man.
Well, that was the only case I had in that
Yeah,
case.
this one you actually came across as somebody who liked the book for real reasons. That made it seem like that would be a likable book. Whereas I was stuck with, I ain't a fucking teenager anymore.
Well, I
Why
do
should I care about teenagers? Because it speaks to things we've all felt. Of the 700,000 stories I've read that do the precise same thing,
This was better than a lot of those. All those 90 teen books, which is when you pretty much burnt out on...
yeah.
Teen-
Yep, you got me.
What was the one that made you read? Young Superheroes in Love?
Yeah, fuck that. That book was terrible. So anyway, Winter Soldier. The Bitter March. Not just the, somewhat tart march. The bitter march. Number 2. So, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent gets the Nazis on the train. Which seems a bit of a twist. For once. And he plays off the girl for important exposition. Which is... Hi, how are you?
No, bless you, first off. This is just...
There's a lot of text in there. There's a lot of talking in there. And
But
it's
it all
based on him trying to get in her pants.
Well, it's...
While he's getting secrets out of her.
They're playing a romantic aspect of it because it's the super spy and the hot Nazi scientist on the
Yes.
train. So they have to have that with the evil husband and the slightly less evil hot scientist.
But it turns out that he's not even the evil husband scientist. He's the opportunistic weasel evil husband.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was actually her plan. Did I say that? It was her plan because I told her to make the plan up.
So
it was my inspiration.
Yeah,
I did it. It was me, really.
He's invited Hydra scumbags to get involved. But yeah, the dynamic between the wife and Shen was really interesting.
Yeah.
As much as Remender has frustrated you on Cap, I feel like he's got a really good handle on the tone of
Yeah,
this
he's
book.
doing much better on this one.
I also like the fact that the villain in the current issue Cap is the scientist that Shen reaches out to for support.
That's right. I totally forgot about that connection.
Yeah.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
So there's a lot of little clever, interesting things that I liked going on in this book. It has a James Bond feel with the superhero aspect.
Right.
And I also like that you have Shen, who is your James Bond shield agent.
Right.
And the Winter Soldier keeps kicking his ass, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're really frustrating.
But he's not doing really well with him, though, because, I mean, this is the Winter Soldier. He should be killing him.
Yeah.
But it ends up with a fight between the Hydra guys and Shen, and Bucky shows up just in time to get his licks in before the last page comes in.
So now we've got S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Nazis versus Hydra versus the Winter Soldier, and Nick Fury is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Which is fine, because he's getting a lot of play the last few years. Man.
I can't wait for him to reappear. I'm really enjoying this book. Like, as much as Remender is taking a slow, slightly frustrating take on Cap, like he's really nailing the Winter Soldier, which gives me hope for Cap.
Yeah. I'm along with that. I'm there for the ride. I'm with you, baby.
Dude, are those like evil Wizardy-Oompa Loompas?
I don't even know what... That just looks like your standard old lady witch. But this thing looked like it was an ancient person's head on the end of a snake or some shit. And that was just flat out creepy.
Oh, it's,
Well, that's now Morgan. Because Asmodeus is pissed off with her. So, kids, don't watch this fucking flick. Or watch it drunk anyway, something. Right, so Amazing X-Men 5.
Pirate Battle!
Pirate Battle, the final fight, it's big and crazy. Kurt sacrifices heaven to come back. I mean,
And he sells his soul to the Bamfs to have flesh.
which was just such a terrible fucking idea.
Just nothing about that made sense to me. First off, Kurt, like, totally out of character for the most religious X-Men.
Yeah.
To sell his soul. The leaving heaven for one more adventure and then realizing that was a bad idea. That was Kurt. Totally understood that.
He was right on there.
Character. This, I sold my soul to a bunch of tiny Bamfs to defeat my father because he's like King Dick. Wait, no, would never do that. Never in a million bajillion.
I can't see Kurt doing that, and that kind of disappoints me a bit because I would have thought. Well, no, Aaron is. I can't say I would have thought Aaron would have done better than that.
I like Aaron
haven't
as a writer.
read that much Aaron stuff.
I mean, he's killing on Thor. I like what I've read of Wolverine and the X-Men. I love Scalp. So, I mean, he's been very consistently strong in the short periods that I've read him. But, yeah, I don't know what this is about.
Right.
But I don't love the choice there. I also didn't quite understand the Bamfs forming into the fleshy body. If that's what that was.
I was going to blow by that because I was grossed out and didn't understand it. But now that you brought it up, I'm grossed out and don't understand it.
I don't know if that was the visual or if I took the wrong thing away from a horrible visual.
You know what? I'm not cracking it back open to look.
But it seems like the book is continuing. It's been...
Oh, no, it's moving forward.
Okay.
They're giving it a #1 already. They're doing that, Marvel 5-point go fuck yourself or whatever it is.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But, yeah, it looks like the next issue has Nightcrawler and Mystique, so...
Woo, buddy. Because we needed another one of those team-ups.
But,
hey, Ma, I'm back from heaven. I just wanted to kick your ass.
They need to establish this team a lot more. Like... Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, all strong characterizations. The Beast is a nice addition. Iceman is Iceman, and then North Star and Fire.
Was it North Star? Yes, it was North Star and Firestar. 2 stars on each team.
Or 2 non-stars with the stars.
Okay, you're pushing it.
I'm just saying, you got 4-star X-Men and 2 guys that, just barely make the C squad.
Named Star.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where their star power comes from. No, it's terrible. I can't. That's a bad joke. Forget I said it. I don't want to know. Shut up. God, what's wrong with you? Silver Surfer #1.
Was this you or me?
What?
Who picked this?
I was going to get this regardless.
Okay. I could not remember.
I don't mind the Surfer. We both love Slott. So
And I'm a
you
big
question
Aldred
that.
guy.
I'm wondering why you're questioning it.
Because it was a very
that's
odd
unusual.
book. It was very possible, because it was very possible with the Slott Aldred. It was very possible this was on me. It was very possible it was on you. This was a very strange take on the Silver Surfer.
I don't know where he's going with this shit.
It had a very light humor aspect to it, and humor in the Silver Surfer has not always boded well.
No. It's very difficult. Wow. That is a terrible outfit, Doctor Strange.
It almost looks like Doctor Strange, and yet completely not.
Except it's kind of more...
Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the name. That's definitely more Dr. Fate, man. So we got this new character, Dawn, who is a twin, who loves her hometown and loves running the bed and breakfast tourist spot with her parents, while her sister explores around the world and sends tourists their way. Now, Norrin Rad, as everyone knows, is the Silver Surfer's civilian name. He's out there just cruising the spaceways, communing with the dark forces of matter, the superstring theory, many astrophysical sentences coming up soon. He restarts a microstar, which is more Great Slott Science. And he gets the worshipful society as a result of it, because everything's in miniature. Because even though the sun is only the size of a basketball, apparently the planets are the size of jelly beans. So there's all these microscopic things going, oh my god, he's our sun god now. And he's all freaked out by that. And he's like, I don't know what I'll ever do now that I have a society worshiping me. More Norrin Red hand-wringing. Which is quite normal for him.
You've got wacky aliens, robotic eye. Like, it was very Aldred, the art.
Yeah, and then somewhere along the line, I can't remember where, Norrin gets conned into helping the Empiricon, which is a great society that's been building up forever, but they need Dawn's help for something, so they import her from Earth, and nobody knows why.
No, they,
This is why I have you.
Dawn is brought to ensure that Dawn is teleported
Tourism?
into a box. No, they keep bringing champions to fight this Night Queen chick.
Right.
And you see what happens to one champion, and when she shows up, you can actually hear the guy's father asking for him. They take the person most important to you in the entire world and put them in a prison box to make sure that you behave well as champion, which is the most fucked up thing ever.
Yeah, but we don't know why she's important to Norrin yet.
Nor does he. He literally is like, I don't know who that is. You are terrible at this. But yes, this lovely society of this bizarre-looking planet of hedonism X in space or whatever.
It was kind of weird.
It's a very strange start. I don't love the Silver Surfer. You have a lot more fondness for the Silver Surfer than I do, in all honesty.
Well, I've followed him for many, many years, and then his adventures got so crappy. And then they took Ron Lim off the art. So I was like, well, there goes my purpose for reading this book. But, it's Slott, so we'll give him some time and see what he can shake loose there. I'm sure it'll be fun. If it's not fun, it's going the way of the fucking dodo, though. Because when I see Slott on a book, I expect fucking fun.
Fair enough.
So there. So that's all I got to say about Silver Surfer. So now I got 2 sentences about Thor 20.
Okay.
And, Roxxon has always been a big, nasty megacorp.
That's true.
But it seems... Now, this is just my knee-jerk reactionary horseshit coming out. It could be.
Right.
But it seems like corporations are taking huge hits left and right in the real world, so it just seems easy to bring up Roxxon and make them into even bigger douches than they've ever really been.
No, I think...
they've been terrible, evil people, make no mistake. Roxxon should not exist as a corporate entity any longer.
I think the difference is in the past, they've always been an evil corporation.
Yeah.
But in the past, evil corporation meant hostile takeovers and shady plans and occasional light assassinating.
Yeah.
You know. And now it's fuck your environment, we're humping the earth till it's bone dry.
Yeah.
Which,
And I got just a tiny bit of ham-fistedness coming across to me at that.
well, I mean, the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. has a Greenpeace Corps...
Yeah, that kind of irritated me too. Really, you guys you've got a whole division just for that now. And what are you now?
But you have to like the fact that Thor is like, okay, well, you guys can't do anything. God, I'm just going to lift these things up and throw them away. Oh, you're drilling into the Earth's core. Where's your processing plant? The best moment, by far, was when the Roxxon guy is like, oh, okay, you need to get our insurance. Well, we're not actually getting insurance. They consider it an act of God. Well, one God, yes.
That part did amuse me. I was like,
But then they follow that up with, oh, hey, I need a plan to deal with Thor. So all you guys avoid man-eating bears while I turn into fucking Manotar.
yeah.
And I'm like, what's happening? Right? Like, don't scream. I don't enjoy screaming. Then don't sick giant fucking bears on me, sir.
Yeah. That's not, I understand negative motivation.
Yeah, I know you do. You give it to me a lot.
No, I don't.
No, I'm kidding.
What do you think? What?
No,
I don't have that much pull with you, motherfucker.
But yeah, like literally, and one of them comes out with a plan. I'm like, you didn't come out with a plan. You filled your shorts with crap and died horribly under bear breath.
Yes. No. Don't like that.
But yeah, I think there's a distinct lack of subtlety to this storyline.
Yeah, a little bit.
But at the same time, you've got this truly epic one-armed Thor
In the future,
versus Galactus, which is just
Grandpa-
awesome. To protect the Midgard that's already dead, because Thor's like, fuck you, you're still Galactus.
and
I
his
still punch you."
granddaughter's the Thorir's 3-year back, which always amuses me because they're like, Granddad, how are we going to handle this? Fuck that, let's go beat him up, Granddad. And you got like 3 different voices, and they're all trying to influence him.
Although in this case, all 3 of them are like, you're an idiot. Don't punch Galactus.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's Thor. He's going to go punch Galactus.
Thor punch! I did really enjoy when he's climbing up his knee, one arm going, I should have kept a hammer for this. Like, that was not well thought out. It's nice to see that 4,000 bajillion years in the future, Thor still makes crappy choices.
So we got Uncanny X-Men 1/19.1, whatever the fuck is this? 19 point now, that's right, the point now. The point eat a dick. Now, the mechanical manipulator guy who got kicked out last issue is now under interrogation by Maria Hill. Mystique is off draining mutant growth hormone from Dazzler, which is just gross.
That's seriously fucked up.
The team goes to Chicago on a wild goose chase, and a Sentinel fight comes out because anytime they leave base, there's got to be a Sentinel. It's like some kooky sitcom where, oh goodness, another Sentinel! We didn't know that was coming. And, they fight it, but their powers aren't working very well.
Shockingly enough.
And that's the main gist of it. But, I mean, I don't get enough Maria Hill. I think she should have her own fucking book.
I like the fact that you had S.H.I.E.L.D. going, look, I know how smart Cyclops is. I know that he's setting me up, that I have to talk to you, because he had you and he let you go, knowing I was going to pick you up. So why do I have to talk to you? And meanwhile, the guy's like, I'm really dumb. Like, I have no idea. I got kicked out of the X-Men for using my phone on secret ops and texting. Wait, S.H.I.E.L.D's after me and you checked my email? This man is not bright. Like, you were, like, low-end mutant of all time with that. And then you really have to enjoy a Mystique where Sabretooth's like, that's gross. Like, that's wrong what you do. When Sabretooth is your fucking Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder, you've made shitty career choices. Like, things have gone horribly awry if that's the case.
Yeah, but, I mean, aren't there hundreds of other people they could get MGH out of rather than Dazzler?
She's unconscious. They have her, you know. Maybe it takes a certain level of music talent to really pull that off.
I'm tending to doubt the last bit of that. But overall enjoyable, creepy enough. It gave us creepy tones, and it gave us somewhat humorous tones. And you know, none of those are bad things.
No, it's a good book, and I really like the idea that somehow they're blocking all the powers they know, so they escape by using the two powers that people aren't familiar that they have. Magic has been studying with Stephen Strange.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed the fact that Goldball's like, my balls are broken.
Stop saying balls.
That's going to constantly amuse me.
My balls worked. Stop it. Oh no, the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. Now even I've never seen this.
Okay, breaking new ground. Wait, so you've seen Doctor Strange before?
Oh no, I didn't. Everybody expects that you've seen Fantastic Four. Nobody remembers Doctor Strange is out there.
Yeah, good point. No, I've never seen this either, so this is all new ground.
Alex Hydewhite, good God in heaven. So the new Captain Marvel #1 is much stronger than the last outing.
I did think so. They had a nice undercurrent of backup characters without time travel to start the day.
Right.
I liked the... like they open in the future and then cut back to how she gets there, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
She's got some sort of, you want to say Star Wars, but it's really more of a Serenity vibe in space.
Yeah, yeah.
With her little wacky team and their antics. You get a nice space brawl, which are always fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then a romance with War Machine put on hiatus.
Which is very interesting. They... negative feelings on something.
Not on your own, no.
Not on my own.
But no, as a James Bond fan,
thanks
like
for
Secret
you
Bases,
being the voice of fucking reason.
Well, sometimes it's other people, but yeah,
it's never other people.
Secret Bases, like that's my bread and butter right there. You know, freaking. Oh, we live in a volcano. I'm cool with that. Like, I mean, for God's sake, the Justice League lives on the moon. It's like,
they've lived on a moon. They've lived on a satellite. They've lived in a cave. The Secret Society of Supervillains had a floating skull headquarters, so... The Secret Society of Supervillains? Don't you mean the Legion of Doom?
Yeah, no, I'm referring to the Secret Society because it was more fun, but nobody knows it.
Yes, sirree, Bob. So... No, initially that killed me, and then I'm like, no, wait. There's no reason not to be happy with that. Although, I don't understand who these other people are, because that was all in the last book.
Right. No, there's some back character that we're certainly not familiar with. I did like that Captain Danvers has a little girl psychic who calls herself Lieutenant Trouble. That was amusing to me. And, you know, Carol Danvers has always been a character who is screwed up at the core. Like, since the original Captain Marvel, when she was a backup character, like, she's not had an easy time of anything. And of all the origins of high-end superheroes, hers is by far the most convoluted.
Well, her origin isn't. Her early life is pretty bad.
No, but you're forgetting the binary period and the I have no
that's
powers
not
and the
origin.
rogue.
That's shit that happened to her after.
But it's all building through. But fine, her overall arc story-wise. Like, yeah, you know, the X-Men may have insane things like that, but they had a fairly long stretch of normal at first. This girl's never had 5 minutes of normal.
No, and that's a shame.
When Jessica Drew is your best friend, like, you know, shit is generally crazy.
You know, that would be a funny team-up book, I think. If they played it lighthearted, fun, adventure...
You just want a blue and the gold
that's
with females.
Oh, now that you put it that way, That has to happen.
See, look at you try and stop me before you even heard the point. You're like, just stop with whatever fucked up thing you're going to say.
You got to admit, the precedent is there.
I'm just saying, like, you never got your blue and gold.
You could have pulled out
Beetle.
that thing about my latex.
I didn't have to.
About the next issue. So yeah, I think the book's going to go places this time.
No, it was a promising start.
Time travel.
I don't like. I don't like the fact that it's kind of between Guardians of the Galaxy and Iron Man in space. Like, there's a lot of space in the recent past, and Fantastic Four's out in space right now.
Yeah, so far so good.
I just felt like maybe, we don't need necessarily another hero with a space team at this point. But, of them all...
Tony was out there. He's back dealing with Mandarin Island right now. So he's not playing Space Boy at the moment. But no, I mean, I'll keep trying until this is boring again. So... And I don't mean to sound, resigned to it becoming boring again, but,
it could be
nearly
awesome.
Every book does. I mean, I'm looking at Batman's right now and thinking, do I have to read that? And this is the fucking Batman guy here.
Yeah, you are the Batman guy.
So I know that every book takes its turn at being boring. Or stupid, either way. Go take your pick.
Nothing lasts
Sooner
forever.
or later, they each get a turn at all of it. At any rate, double shipping has struck again.
Your favorite thing in the whole wide world?
I hate double shipping. Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Or money.
Right. So, they double shipped Hawkeye 17 and 18. And in 17, there's this weird pseudo-TV episode dream relating to Hawkeye's own perception of his place in the Avengers. And
this was my favorite thing ever.
Really?
Oh my god. Because it's so ridiculous. And then you realize that for Hawkeye, of course, it's a random Christmas special that reminds him of the importance of teamwork and how he can't be on his own. Like,
it would have to be a kid's TV. I mean,
right,
this is
like,
Clint.
If it were Cap, you'd be like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Like, Captain America knows the importance of teamwork. But of course, not only does Hawkeye need the dumbest lessons spelt out to him, he needs it in a state of near exhaustion from a children's television special. With a Kwanzaa gator. Of course, like, it's so unbelievable. And the whole, like, Russian dingo dogs going dog, dog. Oh my god. And even useless puppy Clint is still unbelievably attractive to the female dog. Like,
Useless
good god.
puppy Clint.
It was so perfectly bizarre, but totally within character. What I don't understand, though, is how is the dog with Clint and with Lady Hawkeye?
With Kate? I don't know. It all depends on when this happened, because it must have been after she got back soon. Real soon. Because she's not going to stay in California forever. It's his fucking book, man. They need to make Hawkeye Girl if they're going to make Kate the focus so much. Which is a dumb sentence. Don't ever let me say Hawkeye Girl again, okay?
I make no promises.
Please don't. I mean, of all the things that you have prevented me from fucking doing, prevent me from doing that one. And that was 17. So in 18, Kate and the guys meet an old, grizzled crime writer who knows too much.
Okay, here is where I have to totally learn you.
Learn me?
Yeah, you're not going to believe this. Harold H. Harold is a long-time reoccurring character.
Is he?
Yep. Harold H. Harold was a writer for shitty 70s lurid phenomenon comics or magazines. Like True Man, Vampire Stories, and Tomb of Dracula.
Really? Mm-hmm. So he was a character writer in Tomb of Dracula.
He was a awful, underused writer who discovered vampires while doing a story about vampires, and then ended up being involved with the entire team and Dracula. And he had a lady love who was really attracted to Dracula and not Harold, which, when you see Harold, totally makes sense.
Ah. Hi, kids. This is your comics history moment with the Reverend Mad Doc.
Well, it gets worse because if one were to be a continuity pain in the ass,
Yeah?
when back in the late 80s when what is that?
That's the notification from my phone.
Oh, thank God.
Just keep talking.
In the late 80s, when Doctor Strange disposed of all vampires,
Right.
it was revealed that Harold had at some point...
That was the early 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Either yes, you're right. It was the earlier part of the 80s. But
Because I knew they were gone when I started, and that was 85.
it
so.
was revealed that Harold was a vampire, and he died.
Oh!
Yes, so
So, maybe with the resurrection of all vampires lately...
he came back as a non-vampire trapped in L.A. for the last 20... Or maybe somebody didn't do the research.
Maybe.
But
well, I'd hate to say that... I'd hate to say that Matt didn't bother checking things.
Well,
but,
we're talking...
he sure could have.
We're talking the tiniest of tiny death scenes. But I felt I should share with you that Harold H. Harold was... And we're talking full-on Gene Colan nerd art, man. Like...
Yeah?
Yeah. You know what? Let me... Harold H. Harold was... not subtle. Which, when your name is Harold,
Yeah, you're going to be... yeah, obscurity is where you live, because otherwise you're going to eat shit. So the point is, Harold H. Harold knows too much, and he's being held at the mercy of the nefarious. But the thing is, he finally cacks it, but not before passing his problem on to Kate, who now cannot leave L.A. either.
Madame Mask holds one serious grudge.
She does, man. Well, I mean, she's Whitney Frost. She's a kook. She cannot let go of things. She's still mad at Tony. And she's still looking for a little Tony thing.
Every woman who's ever been with Tony is still mad at Tony.
Well, I don't know so much that they're mad at him. Everyone who's been with Clint's mad at him. We'll say that. They're angry. But it's fun. That was one of the... Wow, what are you doing over there?
Not breathing.
You gonna make it? So, yeah, the Kate books have been hit or miss on their fun levels, but this one was pretty decent.
I liked the aspect of it. I loved the sidekicks, her roommates there.
Right?
I totally enjoyed them. Is
that the fucking mole man?
Certainly looks like it.
Oh my God in heaven.
But no, it's Hawkeye's such a good book, and they need to go somewhere though.
Yeah, they got to move forward. I mean, we're talking 18 issues where precisely 4 things have happened.
Oh, Russian mobsters are bad.
Put that hat on right. Jesus.
It's so fast how you pick up on it.
Yeah, because I'm looking right at you when you're doing it. It's not like you. It's not like you're being surreptitious or anything. Jesus fuck.
But no, I like the Kate storyline. I would like her to get back and start building the Hawkeye overall. But it's such a unique book, and of course, once again, we're lying here. And is Bart dead? Like they don't.
No, it's hard to tell, and I'd like to get them over with because I don't like too much ambiguity. Sometimes I like straightforward,
The playful tone of the book is great. I really enjoy the aspects of it. But yeah, maybe something that doesn't involve Russian mobsters
for once.
And now superhero contracts on Hawkeye sound like the Nefarias are coming after him. I am not getting enough Count Nefaria in my day-to-day comic.
I am having a very difficult time telling if that was facetious or
you
actually
not
love Count Nefaria.
Really?
You do. You totally do.
Yeah, come on.
All right. Just checking.
I love Diablo. Okay,
I wanted to make sure the audience knew that Nefaria was a force to be reckoned with for a long time, and nobody's really remembered who the fuck he is.
Batroc, Ambush Bug, Count Nefaria, yeah, totally in my wheelhouse.
So our next set of double ships are a standard double ship. This isn't stuff they made up. It's Spidey always double ships. So as much as I hate double shipping, I have come to accept it on this score because it's always a good book. That motherfucker must be working like 9 issues ahead.
There's a lot of convoluted things. Basically, the Green Goblin houses Spidey. Like,
he does.
bad.
He rips him to shit.
It's like, the house you grew up in? I'm blowing that shit up. The first time you met me, I'll blow that up. I'll blow any motherfucking... You have a positive memory? Explosion!
Pretty much. Except he kind of screws up his hostage taking, though. So...
Well, he only screws that up because Doc Ock is a terrible person.
Well, yes.
He kidnaps what's basically Doc Ock's best friend from the science world, and Doc Ock's like, I can't stand that dude. He's a dick. And it's like, well, how would I know? Like, you don't have friends, man. Like, my hostage options are minimal.
Pretty much.
It was this guy or your postman.
And nobody cares about Willie Lumpkin. So...
But then that guy sacrificed himself to save Ock, which just makes Doc Ock feel like the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Which he is.
No, he's horrifying. He's a great character now, though.
Well, he's gone now.
That comes at the end. But at some point in all that mess that you've spewed all over the place, Jameson has absolutely fucking had it. He's had it so far up above his flat top that he's like, fuck it, I don't want to be mayor anymore. Release the Spider Slayers.
Oh, no, Jameson has got his own destiny with disaster. Like, everyone is telling him this is a bad idea. But they're not telling... Well, Glory is telling him this is a horrible idea.
Played it straight up. She had it right.
You are a full-on idiot at this point.
And, of course, the first thing that happens when they get free is they're out of his control.
Yeah.
Because that's just natural.
But, when you have Liz Allen going, yeah, we could do that. It's not a great idea, but it would be helpful. You shouldn't, but it would work. Yeah, that's not the kind of advice. You're like, no, that's not helpful.
No, ringing endorsement or nothing.
But J. Jonah, I missed the fact that J. Jonah Jameson used to be smart outside of Spider-Man. Like, he used to understand things. He had one blank area, which is, I hate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And also, I yell at interns. But he understood the world. And, he dealt with political infighting, and he dealt with mob bosses and killing story. And now, the guy's just, all the time.
No, that is one place that I feel that Slott has not really flexed his character abilities. He's turned Jameson into this one-note thing. Who just, he'll make a realization and he'll say, fine, I'll let it go this time. But in the very next page, he's a raging asshole again. He's just amped up all the ass and downplayed all the guy. It's kind of, alright, I guess there's a place for characters like that to a degree, but, give them something else to do. But it has been disaster after disaster after disaster for the last 30 issues.
Well,
So...
that's been that way since the 60s when Spider-Man... New York doesn't have anything but disasters.
There have been plenty of quiet moments in, where the entire fucking island wasn't at jeopardy.
Not in the last 20 years, really. Think about it. And this is a problem that we've both had is the huge storyline becomes...
Yeah.
But that's all that happens
and
anymore.
Sometimes Spidey just needs to take down a bank robber and let his supporting characters have lives.
Right. But between the Avengers and the 18 other guys in New York that Jameson's also theoretically dealing with, New York it's basically hell.
Pretty much.
Which I've always thought. But
you don't see me going to Manhattan for no fucking reason.
Yeah, there's a level
Wait a minute. Is that Robert Englund?
I don't know. Is this a Puppet Master?
It must be, because Alicia's in there somewhere. And he doesn't look like Mole Man.
Yeah, but nothing looks like anything in this piece of crap.
Well, yeah, that's true. So, yeah, that was all in 29. At the end of 29...
Let's not forget, however, you also have Spidey 2099.
Yeah, Miguel is out there somewhere.
Because he's been working on the Spider Slayers.
Because he's tired of Alchemax and he wants to prevent them from ever becoming what they end up becoming. Which probably would end up uncreating him, but it's comics, so probably not. That's why I hate time travel. Oh yeah, replace the green crystal with a white one. No one will ever fucking miss that. Whatever.
Anyway, so that was all 30. At the end of 30,
Ock realizes just exactly how horrifyingly bad he has failed at not only being a hero, but also being Spider-Man to begin with. Peter Parker's life, he ruined. He's screwed it up left and right. He's starting to feel remorse. Yep. Doc Ock is like, I don't know what I can do about this. You know what, Pete? It's all yours, baby. Pete finally reasserts himself and takes control. And when he realizes that
he does not have the skill or the ability
or the experience or the whatever, the spark, whatever you want to call it, the instinct, at the final last juncture, saving Anna Maria, he finally says, fuck it, I can't do this. I'm not good enough.
Well, he almost doesn't save that little kid because he's too busy thinking about what to do instead of doing.
Yeah.
But you also have that really cool moment in the last one where Peter goes through all of Ock's shitterson life and finally gets to relive his own life when Ock relives it that one time.
Yeah.
So he gets to ride through his entire memory. He's like, dude, my life rocked. Which is the first and only time Peter has ever thought that. And I was literally reading this. I'm like, but duh.
You're a superhero who only dates supermodels. You've got a rich uncle in law.
You got more tail than the NBC Peacock.
Okay.
I just like the sound of that. Like, come on. It was a good line. But, yeah, like, come on. No, Peter Parker, and he's like, you know...
he talks about it works.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of negativity that's happened to Spider-Man is literally legion. I understand that, but... You know, all in all, the dude has a whole lot of good moments, and he can't focus on them. So it was nice to see him actually acknowledge that.
Right.
So now we can show up and find out his life is complete shit all over again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Spider-Man, and that's awesome, and oh God, why is everything fucking terrible?
He's going to have a lot of splaining to do. Whole lot of splaining. So yeah, I can't wait. These next 2 issues are going to be very interesting.
Oh, very much looking forward to it. And I even ordered a copy of my own of Spider-Man 1, so rare day for me.
Yep. So that leaves us with Black Widow 4, where Nat finally admits to us she's a spy and not a warrior.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it took her long enough.
Well, it was just such a cool... Because, you know what? You have all these heroes that so often are just like, oh, well, yeah, I totally get in fights with pneumatic men. Like, you've got this weird religious... And he's not even really a super villain, per se, as a cultist with a... At first, I thought it was going to be Rapido.
Rapido.
And I was all excited.
Shit.
I'm like, is this Batroc Brigade?
I haven't even thought that name in decades.
That's not true. He was in... he's in the Batroc Brigade. So you saw him in the Cullen Bunn Iron Man...
Yeah, but I didn't think about it.
Oh, fair enough. But,
he was just there.
Yeah, so you had the huge beard and the Gatling gun, and I'm like, oh, it's Rapido. And it turns out that 2 guys have chosen that particularly horrible look to run with.
Yeah. So wait, are you telling me that Doctor Doom caused the origin of the Fantastic Four? Wow, that's a terrible set.
Well, I mean, you know, it matches everything else in the movie then.
Ew. So yeah, she admits that, and she...
It was such a cool moment, though.
It was really good. She goes up against some easily influenced monk, assassin, giant, crazy guy.
My lord, I'm just telling you what to do. I'm not God there, Sparky.
Yeah, except it was almost certainly mind control.
Dude, when you blow up an embassy to take out one guy, you're like nature's dick right there. Like, you're not a good person.
Nature's dick.
But yeah, like, so often you have these heroes, and it's like, well, you know, I'm a janitor in real life, but, you know, punching people in the face just comes naturally to me. And here you're like, I'm a spy, asshat. I sneak in, I take things. Occasionally I strangle somebody. If they're decent looking, we might hook up first. And I leave. That's what I do.
That's, I think, what people have been missing about Natasha for a very long time.
Standing in the street slugging with them? No, this is ridiculous. I don't understand why you'd want to do this.
She snipes from rooftops. That's what she does. She takes her little fucking mini cam and puts the nuclear plans on the microdots, and she seduces people, and she drinks martinis, and all that stuff. None of this, I'm going to stand, like you said, stand in the middle of the street. And
I thought actually the movie handled that quite well too. Like, she wasn't there like, oh hey, let me just stand up and fight you toe to toe with the wind. It's like, no, I'm going to shoot you in the knee and run like hell because you're ridiculous.
Now, do you mean Cap 2 or do you mean Avengers?
Cap 2.
Okay. Yes, totally. You can trust me, Cap. What do you want me to be, Cap? Yeah. Okay, Natasha. You can stop that right now because it's not going to work on Steve. Little bit. But then she gets a broken arm, and she ends up gloating about her frequent flyer miles.
That was kind of funny.
Which I was amused by. I was fine with that. Because she's got to build that shit up fast. You can't always get on a fucking Quinjet. You need to be a little more discreet every once in a while. Who calls their sister actually calls them sis? Sis! No, fuck you. So, double shipping with Iron Man 22 and 23 point go fuck yourself. Oh my god, there's like a quarter of a page about what goes on in 22 alone.
There's a lot happening in these books.
More Mandarins team with the Red Threat or Peril or whatever she's calling herself these days. Arno pulls out the giant revenge mech iron suit thing because, right, of course he'd figure out a mobility way. He's been in a fucking iron lung for decades. He was going to want to get out there.
I really enjoyed how much overcompensation went into his armor, though. It's like, I've been in iron lung for 30 years, so my robot's going to be big.
The giant revenge mech. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Now, there's this mystery villain running around decapitating Mandarins and he cuts off Red Derp's hands, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Red Fury.
Red Fury, she went from peril to threat to fury.
Oh, no, Red Threat, you're right. I don't know.
She's had 3 different names in 4 different issues, so whatever. So I just go, she's Red Derp now.
Well, she's Hansless, the uncomfortable reporter. Stumpy McNews anchor.
Not for nothing, and I'm going to run into Jeff territory for this for a second. Not for nothing, but I would have taken the mechanical hands just so I wouldn't have to have somebody else fucking wipe me.
I was like, come on, really? Like, dude, somebody
She put up way too much resistance.
I get stubborn, but, I'd like to pick my own nose. Yeah, give me the working fucking fingers, Tony. Like, I'll still hate you.
Hey, there's so many other people that won't get your charity. It's like, bitch, you got no hands.
Woman, it's not like it's not like every kid in East Uzbekistan is friggin' doing well based on your reporter's salary. Like, pull it back a notch.
Now, Tony's done plenty of things for plenty of people. Just because he doesn't do it quite as personally as she would like, maybe. And fucking muckraker.
You know what was awesome, though, is finding out, like, that the Rings, like, hate Tony personally. Yeah. Like, that was hysterical. It's like, no, they're picking people that hate you. And then, they tell him they literally told me, we hate Tony and we're going to try and take him out and you can join along or not, but it's going to go our way. Like, they don't lie, they're Rings. They don't give a shit what I think. They're going to do it.
They're aliens. Why would they lie to you? They just want to beat up Tony. So, yeah.
Did you enjoy Tony the Musical?
Tony the Musical. What was Tony the Musical?
Well, in the start of the next issue, you have the reveal that the next ring went to...
Oh, yeah. Malekith? Really?
I think that's awesome.
There's no reason... Okay, let me back up. There is no reason villains shouldn't cross over. There have been plenty of times where Spider-Man has had to fight Doctor Doom. There's been plenty of times...
Sandman was originally a Fantastic Four villain.
Yep, exactly. There's been plenty of times where Cap has fought any number of villains that belong to anybody else ever. There's precedence for this. But it's just... I don't know why they would have picked Malekith or Tony.
Well, here's the thing.
Except, and I don't want to sound,
Because Gillen likes him?
Well, no. If he likes him, then fuck it. That's great. But I don't want to be cynical enough to say, well, of course they had a movie this year, so it must be because of that.
I don't think so. I mean, Malekith just came off a huge Thor storyline. He's in a position of power.
Which was capitalizing on the movie.
Well, it was also a strong character. I mean, the movie and the book had very little in common in terms of tone other than the character.
Yeah, but when people go to a movie and they see a character, they expect to go buy the book and get the character.
Well, I mean...
Which is just smart, but it's tough to say, did they do it because he really wanted to use Malekith or because he was supposed to use Malekith?
Well, I suspect that he chose to... I mean, he likes playing in that field.
Yeah,
Gillen just finished the Loki book. He loves playing with those characters.
No, that's all true.
Malekith is on a hot streak right now. And, the idea that the ring's going to dick weasels... and Malekith is on the top of a pretty long list. If
you're large pile of dick weasels.
If you're an evil ring looking for a premier level dick weasel, Malekith is top 7.
Now, the other thing is... I'm tempering all this cynicism with the fact that when the fuck was the last time we saw Malekith?
Other than in the most recent Thor epic,
exactly.
Years.
Literally decades.
I'm sure he's shown up once or twice since Simonson. He's too good a character.
Since Simonson?
I'm sure he's probably... Friends probably used him at some point.
Maybe. I don't remember it, but I don't remember a lot, so whatever. So, yeah, he's got the ring now. So he takes some time to explain his own history and how he came to the rings and what they really want. Which is fine, I suppose. Siobhan helps Tony do something. I've never really followed what the fuck she was trying to do for him. But,
who is Siobhan, by the way?
Siobhan was this random character that he, half owes favor and... half employees, but she only shows up in weird situations like this. She was in Fractions. She was in Fractions run for a half a book maybe. So Tony asks her to set up a black op to Svartalfheim, which kind of fits because Schwartzy, black ops link up there.
Wow.
What?
Anyway.
What? But he kind of fucks himself doing that, though. So he gets caught.
Yeah, I'm very much looking to the next issue. I mean, this is not the first time. Tony's already had a dwarven sidekick.
Yep. Which was fun. So, yeah, he gets caught. So I got one last book. And Dr. Mindbubble in Captain America 18 has become everything I've wished for in a mad scientist, super serum injecting, LSD taking Dennis Leary kind of motif supervillain. So
you're really starting to take to the this storyline.
This one's a bit better, yeah.
I think this one's been
psychotropic bubbles are kind of weird.
Yes, no,
but
there's
it's
no getting
not.
away from that.
It's certainly less weird than Capwolf. No, that's not true. It's not less weird. It's less lame. That's not true. It's less...
The bubbles are odd, but the character idea, it's your classic mad scientist, made a bad choice, went berserk, killed a bunch of people, S.H.I.E.L.D. locked them up. But the way that he's using the bubbles, to...
Because that's so standard.
Yeah. Sadly, it really is. But the way he's using the bubble to use Fury to his advantage and just fuck with everybody... yes, bubbles coming out of the pipe that sticks out of your brain is an awkward choice at best. Wearing a bowler in 2014, odd. you know. But he has such just a bizarre outlook.
Yep.
And like a mind super soldier for Cap to go up against is kind of an interesting change.
Right. That is definitely. That's absolutely true. I can be down with this.
And you gotta love Falcon like breaking into a tank and being like, "Oh, I can't. It's like it's a drone. Like, what the hell do you want me to do? I can't punch anybody. I'm not a goddamn mechanic. Like, I don't know what to do in here.
No,
oh shit, it's gonna blow up anyway. Bye."
And it's about time somebody admitted that, because everybody is so fucking swish with everything on. They're like, "Oh, this is just like a T-22." No, it isn't, dude. It's fucking Russian. You don't know what that tank does, man. When you pull that left lever, you might be jamming around up your ass. You don't know. The tank trainer isn't necessarily
pull the green
go
wire.
left. You don't know these things. So, no, of course, I was in the military. I was trained in all sorts of... No, you weren't. Nobody had a fucking Russian tank from 1962 for you to learn on. They just didn't. So for him to admit, "Oh, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is," that was refreshing. And we do want to end the episode on a refreshing note. So, having established that, unless you've got any more to say.
Well, I think Commodore Wife just brought up an excellent point.
Oh, you want to talk about the newfound Atari cartridges in the desert in Arizona?
I just think it's hysterical that like Al Capone's vault is fake, but that shit's real. Like, that's just awesome.
It is. It's insane. Now, I don't know anything. I've read several articles about it, but we, being poor, did not have a 2600 at the time. You know what? I'll tell you what. You know how I got my 2600 gaming in? I went to several Kmarts in the area and went to the giant stand-up demonstration consoles they had. And they would have, depending on the store, they would have 6 or 8 different games available for the stand-ups. That is one terrible Ben Grimm right there. Oh, the echo of the scream, whatever. So I would play things like Pac-Man on it. It was terrible. I would play Missile Command, and I was terrible. And the stand-ups were so high, and me being 12, not even 12, you know, we got...
Probably like 8.
This was in Detroit, so we got there when I was 9.
Oh.
So I was 11 at best when they still had those in the Kmarts. And the service merchandise even had the ColecoVisions you could try.
Donkey Kong, which I guarantee
I
you were
was
terrible
at. So, yeah, that's my experience with the 2600. I had like one friend who had it, because everybody else's parents in Detroit are like, $100? That's 3 months worth of food. What the fuck are you talking about? Along with food stamps. But, and before you, I hope you kids paid attention when I did the food stamp thing, saying I was poor, so I know what food stamps can buy and how valuable they are. So, whatever. Tell us all about, Bill, because you noted that you actually played the fucker.
I did. I owned. We did not. We did. Well, as you know, we did not have a ton of money, but eventually we had an Atari, and we did get the more affordable game. I never owned Pac-Man or anything that had a brand name, shall we say? But yes, the E.T. game, being as that one did make it into my home, and it was an appalling waste of time. But I do recall, like, you'd be playing as E.T., which was a horrible looking monster. Like, it was vaguely like playing the alien when it popped out of John Hurt's chest in that form. Like, you're just like, this is not right looking. And you had to build your dictaphone fuckity wit whatever to...
Now, I just rewatched this back in winter.
Really? I don't like E.T.
I had only seen it once in the theater. That was my one time. I was 10, 11, 82, I'd have been 11. I saw it when I was 11. And, being 11, and Elliot being 11, I felt a kindred spirit. But I never saw it again. Right. So I watched it again recently. So he used a speaking spell, among other parts, to create his dictaphone, as you put it. Now, in the game, you create your dictaphone and
then you have to reach out. But there were like, you gotta remember we're talking 30 years ago. But I think there were like evil birds or something that would fly, and they'd take the pieces away. And so every time I built it, I'd have to go off and refine them all, and then turn it on again, and then the fucking birds would show up, and this never stopped. Like, I never beat this game because every single time something would just fly up and break it apart again.
that's insanity.
And I remember thinking to myself, like, why am I doing this? And I'm not really down with introspection now, and at 10 I certainly had no taste for it. But it was impossible to not be frustrated with the complete lack of any sort of integrity to the ideas behind the game. And like, oh, well, we'll just, this is pretty easy, so we'll just make it impossible. Fuck off! Like, really?
Now, to be fair, what I understood was they had like 4 months to program this thing from scratch and get it in the stores. And that includes manufacturing lead time. So the developers of this thing had about 45 seconds to write a whole game. So
I feel like they could have taken a minute and a half.
For a movie that didn't really have all that much adventure to it. It was largely comedy of errors. Who drank all the beer? Oh, little kid monster. Wah! Oh, he's drunk at school and he's kissing random girls. You know, it's all...
Really? That was in that?
You remember that?
No.
They formed a psychic bond, which turned out to be some kind of bizarro, also pseudo-physical bond. And E.T. drank like a 6-pack of Coors, but Elliot felt it. So he's getting all rocked up in class, and he lets all the dissecting frogs go.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this.
Because apparently in the early 80s, as opposed to the late 80s, when I dissected my frog, they used live ones and put them under with balls of cotton balls of chloroform in a jar, rather than the formaldehyde dead preserved frogs that I got.
I really hope that that's a movie thing and not actually true.
Because that would be horrifying.
That is disgusting on every
Because
level.
you're literally vivisecting that fucker alive.
Yeah.
And that's just not natural.
No, I'm thinking...
I'm all for scientific learning. I'm down with that very heavily. But there's no need for that shit. Kill the fucker first.
Yeah, that seems uncalled for at best.
So yeah, he lets all the frogs loose from the entire science class. Everybody's going like, "Oh my God, Elliot, what are you doing?" And then he grabs this one girl that he's kind of sweet on, who's about to run away. And this is all happening while E.T. is watching some weird 40s flick on TV, drunk. So she runs away. He grabs her by the hand, pulls her back and whips her around, and leans her over and plants a big sloppy wet one on her. And then runs away.
I have no recollection of any of this. Good God.
I only remember it because I saw it like 12 weeks ago.
Dear Christ.
And that's what we love here at the Mean Geek. Odd reflection.
Wow.
Pointless, odd, bizarro, useless reflection. I'm not even going to call it nostalgia because it was just, I didn't care enough about E.T. to be nostalgic.
Well, it sounds like you cared less after you watched it.
Oh, far less. I was much more down with it, dude. I never got misty. I was just like, yeah, it's a dead alien. I don't give a shit.
Dude, we killed those fuckers, man. Didn't you watch James Arness? Space carrots are the devil.
James Arness. Would you care to explain that to the audience, please?
What? Come on. That thing from another world.
Yes.
1950, whatever.
Yes.
The basis for John Carpenter's The Thing.
Only alien, the only good alien, unless, of course, you're a blue chick, is a dead alien.
Or Chewbacca.
Or Chewbacca. Fine. A furry alien who can fix spaceships is a good alien. You know, I'm done with this. Let's call the episode.
Bless you, fucker!
And away.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. Find us on Facebook, Stitcher, Twitter under @TheMeanerGeek. Subscribe to us through RSS.
Or we can be located at our own site, www.themeangeek.com, And most importantly of all, you can find us as a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network.
Email us directly at themeanergeek@gmail.com.
Can I drink now?
You may.